Aloha! Welcome to another Shrimp Sunday and to another GSG Talk. I know I keep saying we have very special guests, but damn it, we have very special guests every time, and that's not my fault. That's the guest's fault. Thank you for joining us today. We have Mr. Jayven Foxx and Mr. Your Opponent. How are you guys?
What's going on? I'm doing good.
Good. Sweaty. Very sweaty here in the UK.
Sweaty? Why are you so
very,
sweaty?
Very glad to be here. It's just, well, I've had to close all the windows, so you just hear my dulcet tones and not the sound of lawnmowers. But now it's stagnant and roasting in the lab here now. So
Don't talk about me like that. I'm right here.
Could it be that you're very nervous because we have very strong questions to ask? Are you afraid of the truth?
I am in the literal hot seat, I guess. Yeah. So,
Pochoclo's gonna make us cry. He's gonna dig deep into our past to deep dive.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping to save on my therapy bill for this month. So go nuts.
For those of you that aren't familiar to your streams, could you maybe introduce yourself? We'll go like this. Every time I ask a question, we'll start by Jayven, and then we'll go to Yopo.
Okay, yeah, sure. So my name is Jayven Foxx. I'm the, as I said, the resident mad professor here in the Secret Lab Studios in the UK. Do live improv music, much like many members of the Golden Shrimp Guild, although mine's more sort of with a multi-instrumental bent, working around a loop station. And I also do kind of weird sci-fi RPG games and whatever else takes my fancy. So
I'm your opponent. I do all kinds of music with modular and a deluge and an iPad. So on a modular journey. So it just kind of depends on what I'm feeling. Anywhere from dance to ambient, and yeah, that's the tea.
What's the backstory behind your names?
Well, I say yes. So Jayven Foxx, for those of you who don't know, is an alter ego, but I can't unfortunately tell you my real name, otherwise I'd have to kill you. I need to maintain some secrecy in my real life.
Mr. Jayven Foxx. It's Mr. Jayven Foxx.
Yes, that's right. Dr. Jayven Foxx. But no, actually, the name I kind of had before, it originally span out of one of the nerdy sci-fi board games I play was a Star Wars dogfighting game, and in order to play, I had to set up an account on the game's website. And so Jayven Foxx is the Star Warsification of my real name. So if my alter ego was an X-wing pilot, they'd be Jayven Foxx.
Wow. I don't know if I
and that's no one on Twitch no one knows that. So that's exclusive.
No, but it seems like something common, because Beta Units was here last week and he told us his name was a Star Warsification of something.
It was The Last Starfighter. I watched that, and when he pulled that Last Starfighter reference, I was like, damn, someone else who loves that movie. Fantastic.
They're making a sequel. I think it's finally greenlighted. It's done by the original writer. So.
I hope it makes it out of production hell, because I will watch that.
We'll see. My name. Yeah. Sorry. My name it came from accumulation of different things. I've had a whole bunch of different names, different nomenclatures, pseudonyms for myself, and so I wanted something simple that's just easy to pronounce. No weird letters, no nothing. Because people just oftentimes, like, if it's too hard to get right away, then they just don't even remember it. So I started with that, but it came from Hearthstone. When the game would fuck up and it couldn't find the name of who you were going to play next, it just defaulted to a text placeholder, your opponent. So thought that was pretty good. And also I can be competitive. So, but who is your opponent? Is it you? Is it me? Is it me for myself? I don't know.
Yeah, it's meta. I like it.
It's super meta.
I remember the first time I saw your opponent on chat. During my stream it was, and I said, oh, this guy's a real antagonizer, he must be real. And then I met this really sweet dude. I was like, oh, he wasn't tough at all. Prejudice.
Okay. My main problem with my name is I just tend to end up disappointing a lot of fairies.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but hey, you know what?
I'm such a letdown to them. Like,
you could be a furry tease. Why not, man? Why not?
I mean, I've got a mane. if that helps, like something for him at least.
I got these paws. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
I will dodge the furry topic, and we'll move.
Sure.
And we'll move on to your streams. How do you guys plan your streams?
I don't. Kind of the point of my streams is I always start with a completely blank canvas. So at most, I mean, the most amount of sort of musical preparation I'll ever do for a stream would be maybe if there's a, like a short synthfest set where I know I've got to kind of get it fired up pretty quick. At most, I'll have maybe like a couple of patches I quite like the sound of, and maybe like a 2 or 3 note pattern for the opening jam, just to be like, oh, G, C, E. That's where I'm going to start, and we'll go from there. So no, I do nothing apart from have my rig set up.
Yeah, I'm the same. How about you, Yobo?
It depends on the set. Like, I'll go anywhere from having like prepared songs and going from those to like nothing. Well, not nothing. Usually what I'll have is I'll like fire up everything. I have to wait like an hour for everything to heat up to tune. And then once everything's tuned, I'll get a little something going. And from there, it's just, following keys and stuff like that. A lot of randomness, a lot of sequencing on the fly, but it just depends on that day. Just really, that's it.
Okay. It's sort of something when I started, I always wanted to have more prepared content evolving kind of in parallel with the jams. So maybe half a stream would be jam and half of the stream would be working on some previous jam that I quite liked and developing it. That was always the intent. I've kind of fallen into this thing where I think what people expect now, and kind of one of the things I enjoy most about streaming is that it kind of just lives and dies in the moment, and that's it. I came from a production background where I used to spend hours and hours and hours and hours finessing and finishing and tweaking and trying to get things that last 5-10% up to release. And there's something really liberating about just going, I get the 30-40 minutes of creative rush and then never have to think about it again. And there's something quite liberating about that, and definitely a change from my background as a musician and engineer.
I come back sometimes to things because I need to put out an album under this name.
Right. So, yeah, me too.
Yeah, so sometimes, and I never know how the stream's going to go because, if I'm jamming, it's different than I'm trying to work on something, because working on something is going to be far more repetitious.
Yes.
And I just worry. I'm like, is this boring for people? Does this suck for y'all?
Well, it's interesting you say that, actually, because like I say, I used to produce, and one of the things I thought I would stream originally would be kind of like, I obviously see a lot of music production streams on Twitch, and I know a lot of people get a real kick out of them because it's an opportunity to have a kind of peek behind the curtain of the creative process and how to produce and how to edit and how to mix and master and all the rest of it. And even though I thought, oh yeah, maybe that's what I could kind of contribute here, like I don't watch those streams because I've been behind the curtain. So I don't personally get that much out of that type of content. If I'm making it, it feels dull to me. I want to make stuff that I want to watch, and that's,
I watched Disclosure was streaming. I don't know how many albums they've had since then, but they were streaming and them making an album, and that was pretty interesting just to watch Disclosure, because Disclosure has a tight sound, and those two guys like went to production school and all that, and it was just kind of what is the insight and how they think to do their tracks.
I mean, there's a lot of value in that type of content, and it's I'm not taking away from people who do that at all. But I think I've always fallen into the trap of like, if it's not the sort of thing I would watch on Twitch, then I kind of don't. I get self-conscious about doing it, even if other people are getting something out of it. I'm kind of like, I need to feel like what I'm doing is watchable to me. That's my filter, and that's, to be honest, that's when I kind of get into my own head if it's not.
That's why I have all the crazy visuals, dude. Like, and it's all just random stuff. There's no set way these things happen. So when I go back and watch like the VODs and stuff, I have visual entertainment for myself. I'm just being selfish. It's for me. It's just all for me.
There's a lot to be said for production value,
Yeah. Have you guys ever saw some streamer that inspired you to do your streams your way, or did you just create it out of the blue?
So. Yeah, I know. There were definitely. So when I started, I was streaming. I was just streaming board games. It started in lockdown, and it was for a variety of personal reasons. One, because I was going insane. and needed something.
As
And
most
because
of
I didn't have, so sorry.
As most of us did.
Right? Yeah, no, I know that's a bit of a running theme, and there's a reason why Twitch's viewership went in lockdown. For me, it was like I didn't have any technical challenges. My job gives me a lot of technical challenges, and all of a sudden I didn't have any. And also my kids were like, they're really young, and all they want to watch was game streamers, right? And I thought, even though I kind of sat there like a middle-aged dad going, okay, that's the thing you're into. Part of me didn't want to sort of stand there like King Canute trying to hold back the ocean. I was like, well, you know what? If this is what they're really, really interested in, then I'm going to do it, and I'll understand this world, and I'll understand the world that they're going into and what they really enjoy, and be part of it, so that they're not just taking that thing and disappearing off and it's growing apart as they get older. So it's partly kind of like me trying to keep up with the kids. But yeah, I was playing board games on Twitch, and I realized that like what I was watching all the time was improv music streamers. Like the stuff I was actually consuming wasn't board game streams. It was people like Beat Cleaver and Graceful Bard, and you know, a variety of others, Ari at Home, and yeah, a lot of 505e type loopers, and people like, you know, and me and Killer Bee Relay team started at a similar time. You know, I met quite a few other current Golden Shrimp Guild members sort of through that circle, so it was just a natural progression for me.
Do your kids appear on your streams and say, "Dad, that's
they have done it on occasion. They have done on occasion. They are going to be doing I've got like a spin-off from my RPG stream that they're going to be doing like a little one-shot in. So Starfinder Junior, they'll be making their next appearance.
Starfinder's on Monday, Jayven Foxx's channel.
That's right. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Shameless plug. # by my mixtape.
Yeah. 8 p.m. UK time. Thanks.
Yeah, 8 p.m. UK time.
How about you, Yopo? Did you saw any streamer when you started that got you into streaming?
Yeah, no. So for streaming to myself, like I've just kind of been on this journey for myself. It's kind of not getting back into music, but going even more full force at music. And I've been kind of on this own journey for myself. But some of the people that I initially watched were, I like their music, but also what they were doing technically with their streams was DNK, TRL, and then also Moonhouse. Moonhouse, like, because, you know, I just knew about webcams, but Moonhouse had it where you could cam 14 and all of a sudden you're staring at, you know, Frankenstein's monster, and DNK with the BPM, the smoke machine. I was just really blown away about like what kind of performance you could do, right? Because you can't see the crowd. I mean, and just having the crowd reach through the internet and be able to control things in your physical environment, I thought was really, really cool. And also, that's more of a gear choice, but SynthLab, actually, on the real though, SynthLab had these streams that were called Snow Days, and he had like a cam outside, and that's also what made me buy my DFAM. Again, God, just begging for compliments, just thirsty. But yeah, that's kind of what it's been for me. I'm just on this journey for myself.
Jayven told us he's been streaming since the pandemic. How about you, Yopo? When did you start streaming?
Yeah, I started streaming in 2020. Pandemic. It's all us old folks were like, you know what? I do music. I could just stream from home. Let's do it.
Do you guys remember your worst stream?
Oh fuck! Okay. Let me get some coffee on that one.
yeah. No worries. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I've had a few. I remember actually the so yeah, like I struggle with some mental health stuff, right? And that's something I'm very open about on my shows. I think that's important. And,
can we know what's your condition?
Yeah. So a mixture of depression, anxiety, a little bit of PTSD thrown in for good measure, and some other stuff that I probably won't go into. But yeah, it's a fun cocktail to live with. Thankfully, I'm at a point in my life where I've largely got a handle on it, and kind of can manage it relatively well. But you have good days and bad days. Streaming has an interesting interaction with that, because it can be very validating. It's a fantastic outlet, release valve. But at the same time, if I'm in one of those states of mind where I'm like, you're the worst, occasionally it can come off the rails. And I remember the first week I bought my 505, it was one of the first sort of solo music streams I'd done. I used to collaborate with my old guitarist from a band. They used to be within my sort of writing partner. And I got the 505 home, and that afternoon I was super excited. And I started messing around with I was just messing around with like a weird trip hoppy cover of "Where Is My Mind" by the Pixies.
Pixies always good.
Yeah, and I was doing like a kind of a weird twisty cover of it, and I was like, "Oh, this is fun! I'm well into this." I had a great afternoon, and I thought, right, I'm going to drop this on the first kind of like 505 improv stream, and people knew it was going to be like, I'm working this box out, and we'll see where it goes. And for whatever reason it was, like I just couldn't get this thing singing right. It just wasn't clicking for me at all. And I ended up in this absolute like shame spiral of just hating everything I was doing.
It's true. I was there. It was absolutely terrible.
And I had to just go like, I'm sorry guys, I'm getting well inside my own head here. I need to stop this. Like I just need to stop. And I went onto my Be Right Back screen, and I went outside, took a deep breath, and was like, "Get your shit together. Stop freaking out. You're fine. Get back on, and just take a deep breath." And that's what I did. And I went down a completely different route for the second half, and it was fine. I totally got into my own head on that one, and just had to kind of like pull the plug. Occasionally, I'll still do it. Occasionally, I'll just at the end of the stream, I'll be like, I hate it when the last jam of the stream is like the weakest of the night. And so I had, when I have really bad mental health days and a stream, occasionally I'll use this thing called I call it the dark lab sessions, where I just kind of like, no mic, I'll make the visuals much moodier, and I'll be kind of like, just
lots of crying.
Sorry, I'm not talking to you. Sorry, I'm not like my usual.
And holding yourself.
Well, I try and keep that just out of shot. I take one step outside of frame, have a little wet blob, and then I'll be back in. But the thing is when I'm at my worst, the music helps the most. So I learned early on that actually I could sit there and go, I can't face streaming, but actually I'll get almost the most out of it on days like that. So I've kind of trained my audience as to what to expect, and said every now and again I will turn up and I will not be well, and I will not be chatting. I won't be like fun character guy. I won't be quaffing test tubes and drinking beer out of a flask. I'm just going to be hitting stuff and making weird noises because that's what I need to do today. And I'll chat to you all when I'm well again. And I'm fortunate enough to have a community that kind of really understands that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've come to some of your sessions where you're banging away on your drums, dude. And it's awesome. You give me the half speed drop. I'm always down for the half speed drop.
I'm a big fan of the half speed drops.
Yeah, but it's definitely a good stream. I enjoy your stream.
It's therapy for me as much as anything else.
Yeah, also
I think that's a little true for most streamers, right? Rough day, let's go on the stream, and sometimes maybe you're not feeling it, but even when I'm not feeling it, I'm like, should I stream today? Maybe not. But as soon as I do it, I'm always happy I did it.
Yeah.
Honesty is usually the best policy. Also, I think people value the most when you are honest to them and you're not trying to fake your way through. There's so much exposure going on streaming that no one can be a nice person all the time or a charismatic person all the time. We all have our moments, and sometimes it's just better to go this is not working. Sorry.
I think anybody who does live with mental health issues day in, day out knows that there is a certain amount of fake it until you make it. That goes with the territory. You kind of have to keep cracking on with your life.
There's also imposter syndrome, right?
Yeah, exactly. But I think I don't know. I'm fortunate. I'm at an age where I kind of don't care, and I know that by being honest about this stuff and kind of trying to allowing myself to be ill and broken publicly. I hope some people, and I know some people do get some solace and some inspiration from that. It kind of reminds people it's you can be in an absolute mess, but if you can kind of carve out your little corner of the world, you'll find people who will help you through it. And don't let it stop you doing the things that make you feel better. So I try and lead by example on that, because I've had some feedback from people who've said it's been really useful to them, you know, especially people pleasers. You know, I'm not a people pleaser. It's like it kind of gives them permission to go like, you don't have to whack a smile on it for them today. It's okay, like, because the cool people will understand, and the not cool people will go somewhere else, and that's fine.
Yeah. How about you, Yopo? Do you remember your worst stream?
There's a few that come to mind. My stuff usually is due to technical stuff because I create a lot of OBS stuff. So there was one that happened last week during my during my first stream for the Ambient Family Raid Train. I have a whole new collection of OBS scenes, spring, that's art, whatever. But what I didn't realize, and anybody that uses OBS knows, is I run a lot of background videos, but the background videos were not muted. So the video output, which some of them had music, was going to the stream. I couldn't hear it, but it was going out to the stream. So I was hoping to get like a real like nice like mix. And then every 55 seconds, because these things are on timers, there was just interrupts of music. And so that was one of them. There was another time early on streaming that happened. There was one time also because doing Stereo Beach stuff and recording, I'm constantly like switching stuff around, but I could hear the deluge, but I didn't have the deluge. So like going out to the stream. So there was no drums. If Robin's in the chat, she knows about no drums, but yeah, so kind of more like that. There's been, and Jayven touched upon something that there's been times where, like, you know, number one, you definitely don't want your last song to be the weakest, and I always feel sad when that happens. You know, you're like, God damn it, that just left him sad. But
Botching the dismount is the worst.
Yeah, there's times where, you know, I'm one that watches the stats. I'm just a number whore like that. But, you know, maybe you don't feel so, like for myself, I wasn't really feeling what I was doing. And you see some people leaving. And then you're just like, man, you know, oh, God, I've only been streaming for like an hour 15. Fuck it. I should just make it a short stream today. But then I'll take a pause. I'll go outside real quick, have a cigarette, and just be like, go upstairs and just bring this back and redo it. And, pretty much most of the times when I come back up, I switch it. I get it to somewhere that I'm real happy with, and it makes me happy that I stuck with it. And so I just wanted to echo what the Fox was saying.
Nice. Again, the exposure is so there. There are so many times where you're exposed on Twitch when you shouldn't be, that it's almost impossible to not face these moments when you're not doing things right. The talent should be how to fix that, not doing it, because not doing it is basically impossible. We have questions.
I do a lot of disaster recovery practice. A lot of disaster recovery.
That's the expression I was looking for. We have expression. We have questions from the audience. Remember, guys, if you have any questions,
no questions. We don't take questions. This is Jayven and Yopo bonding time. That's really what this is.
Change of plans.
See, now I feel bad because I was excited for the questions.
Ah, damn it!
No, it looks
you don't
like
love me the way I
was going to say. It looks like I'm fobbing you off now.
Okay, Boss Modular is asking, he's kind of new to streaming on Twitch and new to the GSG community. Welcome, Boss Modular. And he wants to know, have you guys got any hot tips for those of us who just starting out on this amazing journey?
I missed it. Was that for streaming or for Modular? I might have just had Modular on my head.
No, his name is Boss Modular.
No, okay. No, I know Boss Modular.
I think most important thing is kind of working out. Streaming is a long slog. Like if you want it to kind of go anywhere, if you want to develop it, if it's something you want to do for anything other than just, you know, a bit of fun once a week, if you actually kind of really want to take it anywhere, and I'm not saying for a job or anything like that, but just, you know, if you want to grow it, I would say work out who you are and what you really want to do. And, you know, sort of don't apologize for that. Don't try and emulate how other people are doing it. Definitely take inspiration from everywhere. Look at what other people are doing really well. And if there's something that you think that's really cool, nick it. That's fine. Everyone does it. You know, be cool about it.
Steal just the best parts. Steal the best parts.
Yeah, go and pick and mix all your favorite bits of other people's streams. It's fine. Like, and but put it through your own. Put it through your own lens, put it through your own brand, your own. What is it that you do really well? And focus on that and look at other people who do it really well as well. And steal from the best. It's fine. That would be, I think, from my primary tip. But be true to yourself, because you're going to have to do it a lot, and you're going to have to do it on days when you're not really up for it. So you got to be able to, you got to want to do it on your worst day. And so an important part of that is doing something that's true to you, and not trying to just always satisfy the audience or give them what you think they want. You got to do it for you.
I think some things that would be helpful for new streamers that took me a bit to learn is first, the big one is if you're growing your channel, it's honestly not just about streaming. You got to go to other people's streams, and you go out there in the community, give support, get support. I've seen some people where they're like, they have a killer stream, but they never go to anybody else's stream. So it's like when they start streaming, nobody's coming to their streams. It's not like tit for tat, but it definitely helps. Number two, and this is a big one. This is kind of a big one, and I'll kind of leave it a little vague, but is become a technical wizard with your internet speed and what your video encoder can do. Because a lot of times, there's like all these nebulous settings, and especially doing music, because a lot of the information is for like gaming, and gaming wants 120 frames per second at the max resolution and whatever. If you're streaming music, your audio quality is really the biggest part.
Yeah.
And then, your cameras, if the cameras aren't full screen, don't have the camera be 1920 and you're like only using it at like little things, all these little technical things.
Become an OBS whisperer.
Yeah, the OBS whisperer. Talk to the OBS whisperer. But that's what the Golden Shrimp channels are for, right? Is to kind of get people past these pain points that we've all learned. Just make the group stronger by just picking everybody up quicker, right? We saw that like with like affiliates, like and that's I got my affiliate before the Shrimps, yay! But like just getting people on board, that's not even an issue for people now. That's fantastic. The barrier of entry is smaller, and then be kind to yourself. That's another one. Don't take one bad stream as fuck all and quit. Like, just be like, okay, what did I do wrong? Okay, I'm gonna prove it next time. It's a trial and error.
Yeah.
And hello, everybody.
If you want to do like a perfect show,
don't play a video. Just play a video.
I was going to say, don't bother with Twitch. Start a YouTube channel and spend 3 weeks crafting, like a perfect video and put it on there. Like, that's fine, and you should do that. But if you want to, that's not the platform that Twitch is.
Also, you can create something interesting out of errors. Like, people like seeing people messed up things. If you're charismatic about it, if you're relaxed about it, that can be nice content, because we all make mistakes. Where's makes mistakes when I need it?
Yeah, where's make mistakes?
Well, you know the fail faster school of thought, right?
The what?
So if you want to, it's similar to the kind of 10,000 hours of mastery principle. If you want to master something, you need to sink 10,000 hours into it. This, on a similar note, you've got to get a certain number of failures under your belt to get any sort of success. If you're a novelist, you don't put your entire life into one manuscript, send it off to publishers, and that gets published, or you give up. That's a ridiculous mindset for a writer. Writers have to write 20, 30, 40, 50 manuscripts, get rejected over and over again. Actors have to turn up to 100 auditions before they get their first half decent, background role. So why would it be any different for music? Why would it be any different for streaming? Like, you have
Alanis Morissette was turned down from how many record companies because they said her album sucked? Right? I'm old. Help me, I'm old.
So if you think there's 100 failures between you now and you being any good at this, you better crack on with failing.
Yeah.
Like, you better crack on with messing it up repeatedly, because you're going to have to do that to get better.
Yeah.
Isn't it ironic? Isn't it?
Fail faster.
I saw what you did there. We have another question from Contral Late. He wants to know, how do you handle pressure from doing multiple streams in the same week? Preparing for that is a challenge for me, for Contral Late.
I'm fortunate because the preparation for my music streams is relatively straightforward. And now that I've built my workflow here in the lab, all I really have to do is fire things up and tune my guitars. The only thing is because I do other streams as well, I'm constantly switching between all my setups. And the other streams actually my RPG streams take a ton of preparation. I have to write loads of story and prep loads of characters and all the rest of it. So there is a heavy workload. I'm not sure. I wish I knew how to handle the pressure of that. Frankly, since work has gotten really busy again, since we're out of lockdown, I've struggled with that. It is really difficult. I think an important thing is having a workflow. If you can kind of even just create like a notepad or a Word document that's just like a checklist. That's like, and you have a certain, so for instance, I archive everything I do. So the second I come off stream, the first thing I do before I disappear out for a cigarette is I set the VOD downloading and it goes onto the hard drive. So there are certain rhythms I'm in where it's kind of making it systematic, I think, helps a lot.
Yeah, workflow definitely is like something that we just say workflow, but that is such a huge part. Like making a list. Like if you're new to it, make a list. Look at everything that you do before stream, and then go to that list every time before you go to a stream. And then eventually you're not going to need it. But there will be one time where you forget some shit on that list, and you'll have to go back to that list and repeat.
But at least the thing is, you'll only forget one thing off the list rather than 6, and it feels more overwhelming the less of a rhythm, a pattern you've got for it. So that's probably the best advice, and appreciate the fact that, bear in mind the fact that if you're streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for that to be a good streaming week, you probably have to find a few hours somewhere in the week, I don't know, to write some go lives or prep your stream like titles or whatever the kind of background schlepping admin stuff you need to do to make that happen. Be realistic that you're probably going to need, a few hours one evening on the Saturday to kind of get some of that grunt work done. So you're not coming home from work and then going, no, I've got to do all the prep for stream.
Yeah. Also remember that if we're speaking about pressure, the only pressure that there is the one you put on yourself. So if you just try to relax, that's all you have to do.
I don't know. You say that, I get nervous before every stream. Like 15 minutes before, like I gotta pee like super bad, but I don't have to go. And then 2 minutes right before, all my energy's gone, and I'm just like relaxed. But it's always stressful.
Nerves can be good though. Like nervous energy is a resource.
Yeah, it's like excitement. It's not like I'm having panic attacks. It's just excitement. I'm just like, dude, I don't want to mess this up. People are taking time to come hang out and like listen to my tunes and stuff. Yeah,
and also, just kind of if you're let's say you are streaming 3 times a week and you feel like, my streams aren't up to snuff because I don't feel like I'm putting enough time. If your stream relies on that prep to be good, if that's the stream you built for yourself, then maybe just kind of go right. If you're really struggling to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, do Wednesday, Friday. Don't stream Monday. Take it to prep and do 2 streams that you're really happy with and that are really strong. Rather than 3 that you feel are mediocre, because you'll enjoy it more.
And it's okay sometimes to take a break, right? A schedule is good. Keep yourself to a schedule, because hold yourself accountable, because it's really easy to like kind of slip in to be like, oh, but I got this game, I could be playing this or something else. So hold yourself accountable, but also, if you're super busy, like with other things in your life, don't feel guilty, missing a stream.
Yeah, this is not a job for most of us. Sid Lav keeps bothering me with this question. Why are we so sexy? I don't know. I told him there's no explanation for that, but maybe you have an answer.
So originally I wasn't as sexy, but then I cloned myself, and the good clone, that's me. The other one was like it's like twins, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
So there was one that got all of the gross genes, and and now he lives in my cellar.
So that's another tip: clone yourself.
Yeah,
cool.
Keep the good bits, imprison the bad bits.
Do you want something? Do you have something to add to that, Yopo?
Eat a balanced meal and drink water and hydrate and treat your skin nicely. See, we're learning from various topics today. We have another question. Oh wait, I lost it on the chat. We had, from DJDA21. Here's a question. Where
DJ Da, hello DJ.
DJ Da, sorry, I keep messing that up. Where is streaming Twitch for music going in the next few years? What do you think, guys?
Okay.
Very good question.
That's a good one.
Will depend very much on Amazon's ownership of Twitch, I think, on the music front. One thing I find interesting about Twitch is the entire music scene on Twitch is fascinating to me because everybody always like makes jokes about TOS, right? TOS. I heard you guys talking about it the other week about bare feet being TOS. I have to. By the way,
sexy feet.
I have to clarify this because I regularly stream in bare feet because I like that with my drum pedals. That is not against TOS, folks. It would only be against TOS.
I knew
if
it.
I set up a channel point redeem that was like redeem 1,000 channel points and I'll get my feet out for you. Okay,
That would be that. Just call it the double bass pedal, right? Skirt that issue. Do you want to see the double bass pedal, people?
That would be TOS, which is why my test tubes on my stream are not filled with alcohol because I will drink them in return for subs, and that would be gamifying me drinking alcohol. So they are filled with a variety of research chemicals that I cycle in and out every week.
You used to make Sid Hersey drink a lot of White Claw. He had a White Claw redeem, and we're just like, everybody just keeps banging on it. It's like,
but this is it. DJ sets aren't allowed on Twitch. If you go to the music section of Twitch right now, look at the top 100 streams and tell me what percentage of them are DJ sets. And it's going to be 9 out of 10, 90%, I would say. Top 100 streams. Yeah, DJ sets are not allowed on Twitch if you actually read the TOS.
You can fool me, man. You could fool me.
Right. Everybody bangs on about TOS, and there's absolutely zero enforcement on that front. They will probably mute VODs and things like that, but it's stunning to me. So I don't know. There's an awful lot of DMCA stuff they're going to have to work out. I would like to see them promoting, original artists a hell of a lot more than they do. I mean, if they went out and suspended, 1,000 DJs for breaking terms of service tomorrow, it would change the entire landscape of music on Twitch. The GSG is really good because it gets a whole bunch of weird niche streamers, and we've kind of unionized into the GSG, so we punch above our weight. It's one of the things I think is great about this guild. But yeah, essentially that's what you're up against. It's the same as being an originals band. You're up against DJs and covers acts, and you're going to lose most of the time. So I don't know where it's going.
Yeah, I feel like with music on Twitch, right? Like it's just something that's fully retrofitted into another environment, which is heavily based around gaming. And even I'm sure like anybody who's affiliate and stuff like that, you get like advertisements from like what, at least from Stream Elements, I do about paid sponsorships. But even those kind of things, like however you feel about those, are all game based, right? I feel like there's a huge missed opportunity. But again, I say missed opportunity, but these are numbers. If it doesn't make sense for Amazon to invest money developing stuff out more for like music streamers that are making original content, which seems like that would be what they would want. What are you gonna do? And it's sad because there was Mixer and there's been other things, and you can live stream on Reddit and live stream on YouTube, but I don't feel like there's been a platform that has been like super music focused, and it's probably because of licensing, right? That's a huge thing. I would just
so expensive to set up.
Yeah, dude, and it's a dumb game. It's all IP shit just gets out of control. I hope maybe the GSG builds this platform. I don't fucking know, but I would like to see something to give Twitch a slap to the face and wake up, or just something alternative that's music focused. Maybe these things are like built-in BPM stuff. Look at what people are doing and build that into features that are just standard on this platform. And I mean, all the WebSocket stuff, just really allow people to do virtual concerts, and then it could be a virtual concert platform, and you'll get bought by Ticketmaster. Who knows?
I would say if you are streaming though, if you are looking to stream, really consider how you're going to multi-platform. If you want to get found, if you really want to grow it, do not put all your eggs in one basket on platforms, because you're taking, if it's really something you want to push, you're taking your life in your hands by keeping it in one place. If you can get out there on other platforms, one thing that Twitch sucks for is discoverability.
Yeah, but even like VOD dumping on YouTube is not great.
No, don't VOD dump.
Yeah, there's no.
It's pointless. Absolutely pointless.
I think the best thing that people can do right now, and I say this to myself because I just had a talk with my husband about I need to do this shit, is honestly, after you're done streaming, make a little video, throw it on fucking Instagram or TikTok. That's
if you can generate 1 60-second short from every stream you do,
exactly.
stick it on TikTok and YouTube. If that's all you do, I bet your growth will outstrip somebody who's not doing that easy.
Yep. And I need to do that shit. I have all these videos. I need to do this shit. It's like so not hard. I just want it automated. Like when I'm done, I just want to like I should make a fucking script and just fire it off. It transencodes the video, rips up the audio from the video, sticks it in a file, makes a snippet, uploads to Instagram, TikTok. One turnkey, motherfucker. That's all I'm looking for.
So there you go, folks. Do as we say, not as we do.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Sorry, I'm trying to make my lights brighter. I'm not texting anybody.
No,
it's like okay. I see Jayven. He's so bright. I'm like, oh, I have brightness. Anyways, I'll shut up.
It's also kind of hard getting the two paradigms together because you have streaming on one hand, which tells you do 4 hours streaming, and you have TikTok and Instagram that go nothing above 15 seconds will be shown. So getting those two together is kind of hard.
Well, one thing with those long streams, though, one thing I will say, the people that do those like epically long streams, they know their workflow. Like that's when you know you can do it. You can go for an indefinite amount of time, long as you have energy, because you know how your gear's going to move. You don't need songs you can write on the fly. So give kudos to those people that Bleep Temple, just cranking out like 24 hours of techno.
My limit is about 3. If it's like a kind of there's a good blend of drumming in there as well.
Yeah,
like it's way too. It burns me out. My head has to spin so quick to do these streams. My
shit's not very ergonomic, so I'm always like reaching forward. So like eventually, like after I need to stand, but that would be redoing all this stuff, and I ain't doing that. But like, that's my fatigue hits about like 3 hours.
Well, we have another question from Invalid Code 0. He wants to know, what do your families, significant others, think about your online streaming activities?
That's my husband, so that's kind of loaded.
Yeah, you take this. In that case, take this first before you have any time to prepare, because I'm really interested.
Oh, Jesus. Wait, what was... Okay, significant others.
I'm going to reverse the order on you.
Oh, Jesus. See, this is so loaded, though, because it's my husband. Okay, anyways, here, I'll just answer it if it wasn't my husband who asked this question. Realistically, and I know this is going to sound bad, but I care way more than those people care. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's my stuff. But so sometimes when I'm looking for, some like, hey, did you catch it? Or, hey, did you listen to it? They're like, no, I didn't. So, there was an initial disappointment. So I think, but there's moments though. There's moments when things happen that you show them directly and they'll be all like, hey, that's really cool. Or like when my husband sees that I do something, he'll be very proud of me. It's very Asian mom. He just puts his arm around me, walks around like down the street. He's just super proud of me. I feel like a little puppy. But yeah, I think for the most part, like, I don't think they care. That's what I'm not saying they don't care, but when you say think about my online streaming activity, like my family knows that I've been in online communities, like, so I don't know if that's part of the question, if that's what, like being online and being like part of a community, if they're like, hey, that's kind of weird, but no, they don't think much of it.
Mine's very simple. My kids love it. They're like, because to them, I'm kind of like this, I don't think I've got about like 750 followers.
Yeah. Kids like are super fans.
And they're putting it through the kind of the YouTube frame, and they're like, oh yeah, like, that's famous on online. And I'm like, I ain't, but I appreciate it. But no, they love it. They want to be on it. And yeah, like, okay, I have to stop my kids searching me out because my stream is not kid friendly, but I'll occasionally catch them trying to watch my shows. So that's nice. I don't have that problem with Mrs. Fox. She, much like your husband, Oppo, the way she sees it is, I kind of go, oh, did you catch, especially the Synthfest sets, with the way I'm a bit like, this is a bit, it's a bit of a more of a special show, right? And so I was like, did you catch any of it? And it's like,
no,
didn't catch any
of
it.
I didn't.
Her stance on it is, because she used to come and watch like my band shows and stuff, and so I was kind of hoping it'd be a bit more like that. Like I would have my in-house
totally
groupie, right?
Yeah, that's totally it's different. Like, because I feel like if you were playing live, that even though that's more of a commitment, there's like, yeah, I'll go watch you play live. But if you're streaming, you're like, you do that all the time, whatever.
Yeah. So if you're hoping for the in-house groupie, that ain't gonna happen. The way she puts it is I'm like, okay, I have said, and I haven't said this for a long time because I come to terms with it a long time ago, but I did towards the beginning sort of say, well, just be kind of nice if you could maybe, I don't know,
Exactly.
maybe support it a little bit more.
Yeah, it'd be nice if you came by. I could use the numbers.
Yeah, right. And she goes, I support it by like letting you do it and tolerating it,
Exactly.
and bathing the kids while you're doing it, and
Exactly.
you know what I mean. And I'm like, yeah, all right then, yeah. Fine. And also, like, this is effectively kind of our lounge in our house. The secret lab is kind of our lounge. So she would, if she was in chat right now, she would definitely be saying, I'll let you have the whole lounge for a bloody streaming studio and secret lab. I can't really argue with that.
Yeah, I ain't got shit to say, and I'll be quiet.
I am blessed in that respect. So.
Yeah, I'm not complaining though. I'm not complaining about my family or my husband. Just make sure that's clear.
Mrs. Fox is absolutely wonderful. I love her dearly. Please click that.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Support comes
very supportive.
For the longest time, I mean, I only have like 2 mods, and I didn't want to burden because so many mods are like across other things that my only mod was my husband, right? And anybody that's been in my stream has probably noticed you never really see moderators there. All shade, all tea.
Support comes in many, many forms. Sometimes we don't even see it.
It does.
We're on the Golden Shrimp Guild, and we have all the Golden Shrimp Guilds. Well, all the Golden Shrimps on chat, and one of the questions that we always like to ask is, how did you guys meet the Golden Shrimp Guild? How did you encounter?
Remember?
You can remember.
Yeah, you remember a Synthfest.
I know mine.
Go on. I think it was through a Synthfest, and it's not. I don't think it's very much more exciting than that. I think it was probably because I was coming at it through, like I say, I was hanging out in Beat Cleaver's stream a lot because me and Beat kind of are pretty tight, and I think it was probably through that.
Through Beat Cleaver?
Yeah, I think so.
That makes sense.
Or at least, like that was. I think that's all there is to it.
Yeah, I got started because I was streaming, and when I first started streaming, I was doing just heavily dance music with Ableton Live and a lot of like MIDI controllers all over the place. And then a streamer named Monono came and found me, and I was just like, hey, this guy lives in Japan. He's from Australia. He makes dance music too, and I dig his music. And so he a couple times told me like, hey, you should join the Discord. And at that time, I was like, I don't even know what the fuck that is. Like, I don't know what Discord is. Yeah, so that's how I got involved, and that was about July 2020 is when he started talking to me, and then kind of joined up at the end of August, and then when I Synthfest 2020, I didn't play, but that was my first Synthfest, and I remember I was just so charged. I was so sad when it was over. I just felt like I just went on this great experience, and then I was just left, and it was so sad. And so from there, I was hooked, and months later became an admin, and that's the way that shit went.
Talking about Synthon, we have Synthon number 3 years of how would we say Synthoning? 3 years of Synthoning.
Synthversary.
Synthversary, that's right.
Synthoniversary?
Well, I don't know. But if you guys...
Anniversary? We can brainstorm it later.
Anniversary versus an off-anniversary, right?
Yeah, right.
If you guys want to join that event, please go to the Discord and go to the proper channel, because we are launching that tomorrow. The lineup, I believe, and Yobo has left the building. Please go to the Discord. Also, if you want to join this particular program, if you want to come as a guest or as a host, please join the Discord and please go to the proper channel. We have one called GSG Talk for that. Also have the Synthon Talk, the Sunday Stream Talk. We have another question from Boss Modular. This is a long one. The only constant in my life is constant change. The modular rig is the result of my love of electronics and making things, so whenever I get more old junk to take apart, I make new add-ons for the modular rig. The rig and I are kind of evolving over time. Having Twitch and GSG to share this journey with others is a huge motivation to keep going. Thank you to all who make this possible. Oh, it wasn't a question, but...
Yeah, I was like, that's not a question.
It was just some niceness.
Yeah, Niceness is always good. And remember,
Welcome,
guys, in chat, if you have any questions for our audience, for our guests. Oh my God, I'm super bad with language today. Sorry, I did not.
Somebody was up
Let's have some
partying
weird.
late
Let's have
last
some.
night.
Let's have some weird ones. Let's have some. Quick
Yeah,
fire.
yeah. Let's
Little quick fire AMA sesh.
let's talk about hidden feelings. Let's really dig deep.
Yeah.
There are some weird questions we have. Like, what's the weirdest thing you saw on Twitch?
Oh, weirdest thing I saw on Twitch.
I said
Oh,
mine.
man.
I said mine last week. I saw someone make electronic girlfriend. So she looked at the camera and she went like, "Oh, your dinner's ready," and like that for like 5 hours. That's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
I mean, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you do it. Just do it. Like, whatever. Make your girlfriend, make your boyfriends, make your partners. Do it.
Yeah. No, you know what? I didn't think I had one.
I have a few.
I was telling my bosses, I think I have a very, very high weirdness threshold. This is the thing. It takes a lot.
I can see that.
To even catch my eye.
I totally can see that.
I
Jayven has seen some shit, people.
yeah, the 1,000-mile stare. I think the closest I came. I told my bosses I was streaming on Twitch, and they did have a little look, and they found a chip shop, a fish and chip shop that had just set up a stream. It was just continuously streaming activities in the fish and chip shop. I'll be honest, I didn't actually see it, but I know it's out there somewhere. That's probably the best I've got. Oppo, you take this.
So I have two that I excuse me, that I think of, but it's not weird in like a bad way. It's weird that it's absolutely captivating. And one of them is the Forgotten Astronaut. If you've ever watched any of their streams, they're very art, and I think at times, I want to say sometimes they have puppets. And as soon as puppets are in there, like that's a little odd, and you don't see that all the time. So there's the Forgotten Astronaut stuff really blew my mind. And then also, if you're out there, actually Loopsy, like clowns. I mean, as soon as you get a clown on stream, I'm like, no offense to clown lovers. No offense to clown lovers. I'm like, oh, I'm watching this train wreck. I'm watching the shit out of this.
Yeah, inherently weird, and you got.
And I picture his clown juice just tasting like a really overly salty like martini, like just all olive juice. That's what clown juice tastes. Yeah, shout out to Loopsy. But yeah, Lucy's in the chat. Okay, yeah, Lucy. I just am always so mesmerized. Actually, I think it was at NobCon last year when I'm like, "Yo, did you guys see this person named Loopsy?" And everybody's just like, "Yeah, a little bit. Why?" I'm like, "Dude, I just couldn't stop watching."
Tom Thinks is amazing.
Tom Thinks.
Tom Thinks, like live animated puppetry with a bit of with improv music thrown in. If you don't know who Tom Thinks is, it's weird and absolute, like you said, Oppo, mesmerizing. I'm a big fan of Tom Thinks.
Yeah, he does some stuff where he'll be streaming, and I think there's sometimes where he's streaming and a computer is generating stuff. And it's
one of those streams you watch it and you're like trying. Yeah. It's like watching a magic trick. You're trying to work out how it's done. It's very
like
cool.
If he is streaming and he is there, usually he has like 300 plus people, but there's other times where he has like 2 or 3 people, and I think it's because the computer's doing some generation and he's not really interacting with the stream too much. So just heads up on that.
It's magic. I love it.
Talking about Loopsy, we are trying to get Loopsy into this talk show. So if you would like to get Loopsy here, please bully him through DM and just shower him with requests of him doing this show. We would be very pleased.
Big respect to anybody who finds their thing and leans into it super hard.
Dude, exactly.
I'm always here for people who just go, "This is my thing," and they go turn it up to 11, and that's what I like to watch.
Yeah, because one thing that, being an artist is also always the balance between doing something that people know, this is what, and doing something that is also full of surprises. So keeping that balance is very hard. If you're going to do the same thing that everyone does, no one's going to really pay attention. But if you're super weird, maybe that can be a challenge also. So making that decision can be tough. We're about to leave. We have 5 more minutes. We will be going to Mr. Spock Synth Guy's stream. Thank you very much, guys. Let's plug your streams.
Oh yeah,
yes. Okay. Yeah. So on Monday nights, I host and games master a really weird sci-fi RPG game. It's like Dungeons and Dragons in space with a few other friends and streamers. So that's on Monday nights, 8 p.m. till 11 p.m. on all of these are UK time. Tuesday nights was my in the studio night. That's now kind of looking like it's Thursdays. So if you want to come see the live improv stuff, same time, 8 p.m. till 11 p.m. UK time on Thursdays for the live improv stuff. And I'm playing D&D over on a friend of mine's stream. His name's Overlord Face, so you can catch me on there on Wednesdays, same time as well. So, and hopefully, like every Synthfest, I managed to get quick enough into the sign-up sheet for.
So stuff I got coming up. Stream twice a week, usually Mondays and Thursdays. Mondays, as of lately, has been Modular Mondays, which is tomorrow. I'll be playing at 2 p.m. PST, but that kicks off, I think, at 8 a.m. PST. So there's that. Also have a podcast interview. I did like a 2 to 3 hour interview for this podcast. I think it's called like North Beats. I'm totally fucking this up, but I'll have a link to that. And then also the big one is the Stereo Beach second album. We have finalized the title, making artwork. The songs are pretty much done and recorded, so we're going to probably drop that in June. I'm saying that officially. It's going to come out in June, so that way it has to, but I'm really pumped about that. And then potentially some things in the summer. And also I'll drop a little hint though. I've been coding the sampler, so
Nice.
keep an eye out for that.
Can I add one last little thing to that list of things as well?
Yep.
I've been growing the YouTube channel, and it's been all board game related up until now. But if I see a bunch of GSG people turn up and subscribe, that will motivate me to shift the emphasis over towards music as well. So please drop at Jayven Foxx on YouTube or subscribe. You'd be helping me out massively. And also, I am writing a musical, a B-movie sci-fi comedy musical theatre fringe show from scratch, all original. It's like kind of, it's a weird theatre show with Beat Cleaver. So if you're ever in Beat Cleaver's stream or in mine, make sure you're pestering him about it because we are. That has sort of been under production for a while, and I really want to put that on a stage very soon. So
that sounds nice.
It's called Mysteries of the Loop.
You can drop the link of your YouTube channel in chat if you want.
I will do, thank you.
Do I even have that? Shit. I have a YouTube channel, but I haven't updated it in a bit. I put like a video out a year, like one video a year. That's all you get. It's just at Jayven Foxx. That's at Jayven Foxx on YouTube. I should turn up. You'll recognize my little mad scientist. Yeah, mine's
guy.
Nice.
I have to search myself to get my own link. This is so sad. So sad.
Thank you for letting me do that.
There we go.
Your opponent, we have a question from Invalid Code 0. He wants to know.
Christ, that's my husband.
Well, yeah, but I have to treat everyone the same way. I'm sorry. He wants to know, where are the dancing ladies? I don't know what that means.
They come and go, right? There was specific. So if you don't know who the dancing ladies are, there's a whole bunch of dancing stuff that hasn't happened in a bit. One of them is a point redeem where Invalid Code is dancing back here and shit. So you keep getting sassy, you're gonna be dancing on this floor making some money. I just the new OBS scenes just don't have them in there because the ones that had the dancing ladies were specifically for dance, and now I kind of try to make the OBS scene collections like kind of for whatever music. So keep an eye out. Though actually, I think they're gonna be summer's coming up, so I just fucking finally made my spring collection, but it's not complete, but I'll complete it next year. But summer's coming up, and I think the dancing ladies are in the summer ones. So
I did spot one other question I desperately want to answer, which was, what was the weirdest instrument you played on the stream?
Yes, sorry.
All the instruments in my background I do play, but I think one of my favorites was a Logic challenge where people bombard me with like, you got to pull some sort of sample out of the Logic Pro library and make a song out of it. I think it was like some sort of like jungly drum and bassy thing, but using all animal sounds. It turned out surprisingly well. If you can find it in my clips, it's worth a look.
You should post it to your YouTube. You should find the clip
to my YouTube, right?
Or to TikTok or to Instagram, a 60-second clip.
Workflow. I'm gonna have to get some young kid to post it on TikTok because I can't bring myself to.
Yeah, I don't know if that question was aimed at me. I don't have any like kind of weird. Was that a key bump? What are you doing? I don't really have any weird instruments, but like working with weird sample. I mean, I work with weird samples all the time. So I mean, that's it. Maybe a clap.
And with that note, we will be ending today's GSG Talk. I want to thank my guests, Jayven Foxx, your opponent. This is one of the talks that could have been longer, but we always do 1 hour. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.
Peace. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Kid Pochoclo. Give a shout out to Kid Pochoclo.
My
Big
pleasure.
shout.